And I'd like to acknowledge that we are on Treaty 6 land and the homeland of the Dakota and Métis Nations. And we are going to stand and the city clerk is going to say something.
The flags at City Hall have been placed at half-mast in honor of the children whose remains were found buried at the former Kamloops Residential School, as well as the survivors and their families. I would ask for 1 minute of silence in their honor.
Thank you. So I'll ask for approval of the agenda. City Clerk, do we have any amendments?
Yes, we have received a correspondence from Merdine McCreath requesting to speak on item 6.3, and if approved, we request to move the item forward to be heard under delegations.
Thank you. Mayor Dion?
Also move and as amended.
Thank you. I'll cue the vote. It is now open. Councillor Lennox Zepp
Yes.
and Councillor Head.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Close the vote. Accept. Okay, pass unanimously. Declarations of conflict of interest. If anybody has any, you know what to do. Adoption of the minutes, please. Sorry, I'm trying to get back. Thank you. I'm going to ask for great patience. It's my first time at this new system we got going, so Councillor Ogrodnik, please.
Thank you. I'll move that the minutes of the previous executive meetings be
Thank you.
adopted.
Okay, I'm going to cue the vote. Councillor Lennox Zepp.
Yes.
Thank you. Councillor Head.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. Passes. Thank you. We have delegations from the Rose Garden Hospice, the city appeal for the park, and the lady is Victoria Elliott, sorry, is going to present tonight. Oh, yes, the podium.
There we
And you
go.
have 5 minutes. Yes, please.
Mayor Dion, members of City Council. Don Daschek and I are members of the Rose Garden Hospice Board of Directors. In February, we provided each of you with a briefing note and cover letter advising that we hope to begin building a palliative hospice on land donated by Fred Trutch sometime this year. More recently, we provided a letter in which we noted the issues we are facing moving forward. COVID has affected our project 2 ways. Building costs have in some cases tripled, and we were unable to accomplish all of our fundraising goals. We responded by deciding to proceed to build and upfit the 10-bedroom home before we have all of the money required to do so, and by making some major changes to the floor plan. The first change required a tremendous act of faith on the part of our 9-member board, but the second allowed us to cut our costs by nearly $750,000 without sacrificing our vision for the guest level. No sooner had we the plans redrawn than we were hit with some other realities. The first was the fee for servicing and bringing underground utilities to our property, which with interest and admin fees is in excess of $193,000. The second was surfacing costs for the development of 38th Street West between 4th Avenue and Trutch Trail and amounts to $103,000. Marquis Road west of 4th Avenue was constructed after the city installed a 16-inch diameter water line from 4th Avenue through a 30-foot easement along the east side of our property to provide services to the new developments east and south, including the new Best Western, certain other commercial properties, and Meeks condos. The sewer and water connection was stubbed into our property off Marquis Road when the services were upgraded and before Marquis Road was extended west past 6th Avenue, so it was a very easy installation. No existing pavement had to be dug up and service disruption was minimal. The surfacing costs for the development of 38th Street West would ordinarily be borne by all of the properties that benefit from it, not just from the property at the end of the road. While both of these are hard costs to the city, neither of them reflect the actual cost. We're asking that both those fees be eliminated and in the alternative that they be substantially reduced. The development levy is charged at a rate of $160,000 per hectare and is ordinarily paid for any portion of land that's being subdivided or developed if it hasn't been paid previously. The development levy is used to pay for off-site servicing costs, including roadways, parks, and recreational facilities. Our property is 4.028 hectares, so this bill will be in excess of $430,000. The development levy is not a real cost to the city. The funds go toward future sewer and water upgrades and off-site services. The fee structure is based on a model where a developer would subdivide a large parcel into residential lots or higher density condos and apartments. When the levy is added on a proportionate basis to each unit, it's not a significant amount. However, for us, it works out to $43,000 per guest room. Our 10-bed facility will have very little impact on the city's sewer or water system, and any future development on the property will be of a similar nature and complementary to our hospice. Our guests will not be able to make use of future services or upgrades. The Rose Garden Hospice is a community-based organization and registered charity. Our hospice will employ 3 nursing staff 24/7, as well as an executive director, office, and facility support staff. Other hospices of a similar size employ 15 to 20 people. It will free up 10 acute care beds in the new hospital and provide palliative services to approximately 300 families per year based on an average stay of 11 days. Many of those families and friends will require accommodation and meals. They may shop or go to movies or use recreation facilities or other amenities while they're in the city. At some time in some way, we must all face the end of life, and most of us share a common hope that when death comes to us or to a loved one, it will be peaceful and free of pain. We hope to face death surrounded by those we love, feeling safe, comfortable, and cared for. With this vision, we've had tremendous support from the community. Local businesses have lobbied suppliers and manufacturers on our behalf. Local contractors and subtrades have agreed to hold prices. We've had tremendous support from professional businesses. Legal and accounting, engineering, architects, and surveyors have deeply discounted their fees, supported us with cash donations, and provided services pro bono. This is a unique project for Saskatchewan, and other cities like Moose Jaw and Lloydminster are interested in our concept of hospice care. We know many of you share our vision. We hope you'll eliminate these fees and the levy and focus on the benefit our facility will bring to the community.
Great, thank you. Is there any questions of the speaker?
Kara Lennox-Up.
Sure, Counselor, go ahead.
Thank you. I appreciate the presentation. I just had a couple of questions. I understand that the Rose Garden Hospice is listed as a non-for-profit organization. Can you advise us, I presume that people that would use this facility would pay a fee. Can you advise us what the Rose Garden Hospice is estimating that fee expected to be?
There will be no fee. Our operational costs are covered by the provincial government, and we're hoping that there'll be no user fee at all.
Okay, that's good to know. And then my next question is the provincial government contributing to any of the capital costs?
None, just operational fees. And they've promised us $2 million per year of operating fees. So we anticipate that we will need a foundation board to supplement, possibly supplement the operational costs, but also to provide contingency funds for replacement of capital structures and room upfittings and so forth.
And is the understanding that the provincial government will be funding those operating costs ongoing or for a certain time period?
The initial promise is for a 2-year period of time, but we expect that it will be ongoing funding. The money will flow through the Saskatchewan Health Authority, and we anticipate that that will just be added to the monies that are received in what used to be the Prince Albert Parkland Health Region.
Great, I appreciate the answers. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Counselor. Mayor Dion?
First of all, Victoria, I personally like to congratulate you. I think you're one of the original board members, along with Dawn. And, it's been a long, long road. So I'm just congratulating you can get to the end.
I've been on the board since 2008. I'm the longest serving board member.
Well, good for you, because you guys remind me of the Rotary Trail. We're not going to give up. We want it built, and we're just going to chug along and chug along. So good for that. I do have a question. I know this is one of your requests. I do know that at some point taxes are going to come as a request as well. Have you had correspondence to the Saskatchewan Health Authority, because it might help us on the other matter as well, that they were willing to send us a letter saying that you fall under their umbrella as healthcare? Because if you do, that really helps us quite a bit, because then it's a different set of rules. Do you know if they've looked at that recommendation? And again, thank you for your work.
Thank you. There are a couple of points to be raised about that issue, one of which was new to me. The Canada Building Code classifies hospices as medical facilities, and they're required to be built to a different standard than are, for instance, long-term care facilities. The second thing, as you probably know, we've had a real champion in Mr. Hargrave, and he's looking at putting forward legislation to deal with hospices, because not only do we have the new hospice at LaGuardia in Saskatoon, but